A polynomial is either a monomial or a sum of monomials. You can think of it as like a monomial or groups of monomials that are going to be added or subtracted together. Now there are three main kinds of polynomials that we call by special names, and then after that they're all going to be referred to just as polynomials. The first is a monomial. Mono means one, so when we have a monomial we're talking about just one term, either one number, one letter, or one product of numbers and letters. The second one that we have are called binomials. Binomials refer to two monomials that are being added or subtracted together. So when you look at a binomial, you'll see a monomial and a second monomial, and they're either going to be added or subtracted together. And then finally, the last thing we have are called trinomials. Trinomials are where you have three monomials being added or subtracted together. So this monomial, and this monomial. Anything more than that, if you have 4 monomials or 5 monomials, they're just going to be called polynomials. Now, the degree of a monomial is made up by looking at the total number of variables that are inside that monomial. So, for example, if I were to expand this and just look at my variables, 6x to the 5th has 5 x's. Okay, there are 5 variables in this monomial. That means my degree is 5. If you look at the second monomial I have here, this has 1a, it has 3 b's, and it has 6 c's. If I count all those up, this is a total of 10 variables. That means my degree is 10 because the degree is the sum of the total number of variables that you have. Now, the degree of a polynomial is a little different than the degree of a monomial. The degree of a polynomial is the greatest degree of any of the monomials inside the polynomial. So the easiest way to do this is look at each monomial individually. This monomial has a degree of 0 because it does not have any variables. This monomial has a degree of 1. This one has a degree of 2. And this one has a degree of 3 because there are 3 variables. There's 1b and 2 c's. The degree of the polynomial is the greatest degree that I have. In this case, the greatest degree that I have is 3, so we would say the degree of this polynomial is 3 because 3 is the greatest degree that I have. Now, the last thing you might be asked to do in terms of polynomials is to put them in order. You're either going to be asked to put them in ascending or descending order. Okay, ascending is increasing. Descending is decreasing. It's really important that you pay attention to what your directions say. And they'll usually tell you specifically which variable they want you to arrange in terms of. So for here, we're going to arrange our variables, or our monomials, in ascending order by our powers of x. So what I want to do is make sure that my powers of x are going to increase. They're going to go from the lowest power of x up to the highest power of x. The easiest way to get these things in order is to look just at how many x's we have. In this monomial, we have 0 x's. This one has 3. This one has just 1. There's no exponent here, but that's like x to the first. And this one has 2. Now, what I want to do is arrange these terms in order from least to greatest. The lowest power of x's that I have is right here. There are 0 x's. So that's going to be the term that comes first. Then I'm going to look, okay, if I had 0 x's, what's my next lowest power of x? That would be this one right here, because there's only one power of x. Whatever symbol you have in front of the monomial stays with it. So this is going to be 2x y to the third, and we're going to add it. So that's 1x. I need to look for where I have 2 x's. That's my next highest one. And again, this symbol goes with it, so it's going to be minus x squared y squared. And lastly, my highest power of x is right here, 3 x's. So I'm going to finish it off with plus 4x cubed. And then if I want to double check and just make sure that I have everything in the right order, just look at your terms. This has 0 x's, 1, 2, 3. My x's are increasing as I go up, so I know I have them in the correct order. Descending order follows the same idea, except we want to put our powers of x in descending orders, decreasing order. That means they're going to go from our highest power of x to our lowest. Now another thing that you'll see instead of descending order, sometimes they'll say put them in standard form. Standard form is just a fancy way of saying descending order. But you're going to follow the same idea. Look at how many x's you have, because we want to arrange them in terms of our x values. Even though this has 3 a's and 3 y's, it only has one x. Okay, so this one has 7 variables total, right here, 7 variables total, but only one of them is an x. So when we put them in order, that's what we're going to pay attention to. All right, again, from highest to lowest now, my highest power of x is right here. So it's got a negative sign in front of it, so I'm going to keep that there. And I'm going to write this term just as it is. So 4x's, I don't have any that say 3x's, so my next lowest number right here is 2x's. So ax squared. And then I'm going to look and I see I have 1x right here. So minus 2a cubed x y cubed. And finally, my lowest power of x right here, I don't have any x's, so I just do plus a to the 4th. And again, it's always a good idea to double check. This is 4x's, 2x's, 1x, 0x's. So I can tell that I have them in the descending order.